Hey, good evening. Hope everyone is well. Okay, it's another session here. I wasn't actually sure if I should do the session tonight because I'm still good evening. I'm still Hope everyone is feeling well. Very rough, but we're here now, so might as well get it done. Okay, so here it is. Like I said again, it's the beginning of the earnings season. Hope everyone had a great trading day today. Or, investing. You don't have to be doing anything. Like I always say, um, sometimes the best trades are the ones you where you don't do anything at all. Okay, because I always say cash is a position. But let's start and see how it goes. I mean, we've been looking at the Qs back to all-time high. So right here, we literally just have 10 points. I mean, it's impossible not to have another torch all-time high or not to have another all-time high this year. But you can see right there, and we are literally at 626. So we literally just only have about 10 points really to the Qs. Okay, there you go. So how did it go today? Let's just, pardon me, like I said, I have a sniffy. I'm getting a lot better. I think if you see me this morning, I was a lot rough. So please pardon me and bear with me. Okay, so today, I think, like I said again, earnings season starts, and I wasn't actually paying much attention. Again, I was more focused on me. So let's see what we had yesterday, or sorry, or today. So just give me a second. I was actually looking at it today earlier, and I just seem to have closed it. There you go. I got it here. So I think first thing first was I think it was JP Morgan. Once you start seeing the banks, it start giving you, an indication of how it went or how last year was really. So today's Tuesday, and we had JP Morgan. JP Morgan literally just popped, and this is a bad sign. If the banks are not doing well, you got to understand. Pardon me, this is really a bad sign. So we had JP Morgan, it was down 4%. Of course, mega bank. Another one we have is tick, 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 tick. Okay, we also do have so we have JP Morgan. I think I saw Visa today as well. I'm not even sure if Visa is actually Visa's earnings today. No, Visa's earnings isn't today, but it seems like it's an overhang from yesterday. It was also down 4% today. I mean, like I said again, people thought, oh, President Trump made an announcement, he's going to start charging sorry, said sorry, credit card companies should not charge more than 10%. He wants to protect the people. But if you notice, and I did ask if people noticed, but guess what? He made the announcement into the resistance zone right there. You can see. So he literally just, you know, I think it was around there. Yeah, there you go. He just collapsed into his hand. So there wasn't really if you understand how trading works, it wasn't anything new there to me, as you can see. I mean, I'm not sure if it's the same pattern with the other guys, but because if you have a look at Capital One, COF, so you can see that again was another resistance zone. Look at MasterCard. MasterCard Incorporated, again, there you go. So fairly major resistance zone. There's quite a resistance in that barrier right there. I mean, I don't know if you how you're looking at it, but if you're looking at it on a weekly time frame, for example, so literally there's a huge zone right there, and it's a bit noisy. So, am I surprised looking at this? Not really. It didn't make any blip at all, but at the same time, that's number one. Number two, this guy's at all-time high, so there's nothing there to feel. I think somebody said is it American Express did not even blink. I'm not sure, but let's have a look. AXP. There you go. Yeah. So all these guys, you are shorting into a resistance. So the announcement does not actually make any difference as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, JP Morgan ruined the earnings was bad. I think Delta Airlines was one. I I was looking at this earlier in the year. There you go. Another one there. This again, this guy's at all-time high. So, no matter what the earnings say, this is not a big deal to me. So there you go. So, I mean, I'm not seeing major. Oh, okay. The Bank of New York. Let's have a look how that goes. Similar name as me, BK. How did Bank of New York go? The Bank of New York. Let's see. There you go. Bank of New York, all-time high. So, as far as I'm concerned, the market is extremely, extremely strong. We've got the president barking on a rate cut. And at this time, what do I do? I'm just literally not doing much. I'm not changing my strategy. I think there are times where you just have to hold. To be honest, this year I haven't actually made one trade. I mean, it's only 14 days into the new year. It might end up being the most of the year I make the most trade, but and it's quite strange, really, because so far so good. I'm just going to show you here quickly. So I haven't made any trade this year, but so far so good year to date. Just so you can see how these things work sometimes. So, um, I mean, last year I ended trading at just about 82%. And this year, you've got to be a lot more patient, calm. Look, 35% year to date, and I haven't actually placed one trade. So these are some of the things you cooked last year, and if it's working, nothing is changing. Why do you have to keep slapping on trades or slapping trades on? So that's that one. We've been talking about Roblox in the group of recent, and look at what happened overnight or throughout yesterday. Roblox, you could see what happened right here, and boom, we had a huge 10% surge. It's just perfect timing. I remember we're calling this at 74, and I played it in the video yesterday. I said, if you are patient, you will win this game. If you're patient, we could see there's been shorts which were piling on at 74. So while this was 100, we just waited by that time, and boom, 74. Likewise, core weave. There was another one actually. I'm going to mention that too. Core weave again. That made a huge move yesterday. Of course, minor retrace, and the final one was Moderna. Moderna. We the calls lined up, but yesterday it didn't make a move. But today, look at what changed. Huge 17% bump. So you've got to understand the technicals at play. And somebody asked me, does that mean it's going to all-time high? Look, nobody knows. It's all about being right there at the right settings. And if you get it right, it's all good. Now, one thing I said today was Bitcoin. So I'm trying to keep this very short because I'm not feeling very well. So look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think, has made about 10% move from the lows of 89. And you can see Bitcoin is now at 96K. And gradually, you could see this thing going, going, going. So you can see that little move right there. That is a good 10%. And as a result of that, I thought, look, pay attention to the crypto stocks. And when I say pay attention to the crypto stocks, we're talking about CLSK, for example. So CleanSpark, what is CleanSpark doing, or how is CleanSpark doing? You could see that huge move. Another one was, I mean, Hive Digital. If you look at Hive Digital, huge move again, high 9%. Again, another one right there. So we could see all these things are resting at a great, great support. Another one right there was, I think I made a few ones, but you can even look at Coinbase, for example. And then, there you go, 4, 5%. And the master of them all, Mr. The father of them all, I mean, strategy. How's that going? There you go. So just for a minute. Sorry about that. Had to clear my nose. So yeah, there you go. So you could miss that. So you could see all these guys are setting up for a reversal, and it looks just about right. So I think the last few months you could see Bitcoin kind of depegged from the market. While the market's moving, Bitcoin is not participating, or crypto generally is not participating. Somebody asked me what's going on in the land of crypto. It looks like everything is pumping. Honestly, I do not know. But you got to pay attention to tomorrow. So these are the ones I'm looking at tomorrow anyway. Tomorrow we do have the Supreme Court ruling about, if the president's tariff tariff surcharge tariff rule if it can be overruled rather. That's what I mean. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I didn't really see much sell-off. I saw a bit of cooling today in the market though. There's something I put in the group actually in terms of a picture I put in the group. Everything literally just pooped. So yeah, Palantir, I didn't look at the bigger ones, but yeah, you can see. But again, if you look at all these um, you know, CRM, Monday, Snow, Team, this software, they all just whined and dumped today, basically. So again, they didn't do much. And finally is Netflix. This was a just, NFLX. This was a case of fastest finger. You could see again, this literally just played into, if you got a great eye for detail, good hands, it just played right to the end of the market. And what was the catalyst? They said they're happy, or Bitcoin, sorry, Netflix said they're happy to pay all cash for the purchase of is it what's called Paramount. So that just made a huge, huge move. Well, not a huge move, but you know, made a huge final closing move a few minutes to the closing. That was when it was released. But overall, sorry, yeah, the way I made Netflix ways I made the Warner Bros. Bid to make it all cash. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, because they've got a bidding war going on with Paramount for Warner Bros. And that's a huge, huge one there. So they're working on the revised earnings, revised terms for Warner Bros. Discovery, which is WBD, and they just want to make it all cash. So this is amazing. This is impressive. For if you're able to get in, still quite low. I mean, not this is not financial advice, just reading the markets. So again, and that's what we saw going into the close. Is this going to continue running tomorrow? I don't know, but I can tell you, I could see lots and lots of calls in there. But I think the father of the day, geez, today I can't go without mentioning Google. Look at that. Google just keeps pushing all-time high. And this is just a mammoth in the making. I think yesterday was the first time this company crossed 4 trillion for the first time. It's just crazy, really crazy. We remember this was just about the end of last year. It was just, on I'll probably say about 180. Yeah, I was looking at that level here, and we're barely into 2026 and Netflix just been making haze. So, but anyway, there is always something. There's always one of the market wizards said, there's always a bull market happening somewhere. So you got to know what you're playing and do not chase, like I always say. If you're chasing, then of course you got it wrong. Anyway, until tomorrow, I hope you have a good day and I shall see you. Hopefully I'm a lot